Hi guys, I hope you're all doing really well. I'm here today to do another weekly wrap up. Now this week I have been super lucky with posts I've got from publishers, so thank you so much to all of the publishers that continue to send me books. It is so lovely of you and I'm so grateful. And I also went to the library and picked up a few books, and I also got a book from a giveaway that I entered, so I'll show you that one too. So I'm going to start off by showing you the books I've got from publishers this week. The first one I got is called Beautiful Day by, I think it's Ellen Hildebrand, and this is, I can't remember what Ellen's written before that I've read. Oh no, this is going to annoy me now. She's written a lot of books. Summerland, that was it, Summerland, and I really enjoyed Summerland. So this is her not her second novel, this is her 12th novel, but the second of hers that I'm going to have read. And this is about a wedding, or a girl who is planning her wedding according to the wishes of her late mother, who left behind a notebook with specific instructions for her big day. And I think she's trying to follow it by the letter, but things aren't going quite well, and I think there's going to be some devastation happening, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I love the cover as well. I absolutely adore weddings anyway, but this cover I think is just absolutely stunning with a wedding dress, and it's so pretty. So thank you so much to Hodder for sending that one my way. I cannot wait to read that one. The second book I got this week is called India Black and the Gentleman Thief, which is the fourth book that I've been sent from Titan Books in the India Black series. I thought it was a duology, then I thought it was a trilogy, now it seems to be an actual series. So the first one that I had was just called India Black, which is the first one in the series. It's too shiny. The second one I think is India Black and the Shadows of Anarchy. Then there was India Black and the Widow of Windsor, and then India Black and the Gentleman Thief, and I think there could be a few more actually. So I look forward to seeing if any more come my way, because they do look like good books. I haven't actually had the chance to read any of them yet, but that is what they look like. I think the spines are really pretty. So thank you to Titan Books for sending me those to me. I will definitely get around to reading them soon. Then the book that I got sent from the lovely, lovely Sophie at Reviewed the Book. I won a giveaway with her, and unfortunately the book didn't arrive, and she said she'd send me a copy via Amazon, and I told her not to be ridiculous, that she didn't have to send me a copy at all, and that I already had enough books to read and she didn't want me to do it, but she was just ridiculously kind and said that she wanted to send me the book anyway. So she did, and it just arrived, and it's called The Extraordinary Life of Frank Derrick, aged 81. Now I've heard a lot about this book actually. A lot of people have been saying how much they enjoyed it, a lot of people have been saying how funny it is, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's actually quite a thin book, it's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. It is only about 250 pages long, so not too long at all, so I'm hoping to get around to reading it soon. And I think the cover is really beautiful as well. I think it's quite striking, and I love the fact that this is like milk, because at first it looked a bit like he was skiing on ice, but now it kind of is an interesting idea to think that that's milk, and you know, strange little things going on. So thank you so much to Sophie for sending that my way. I'm super excited to read it, and thank you for sending it to me. Then from the lovely people at Headline, Eternal, which is an imprint of Headline, I requested these via Bookbridger, and I was super excited when they arrived, and it is Eversea and Forever Jack by Natasha Boyd. Now I believe that these are new adult books about an A-list movie star called Jack Eversea, who finds himself in Sleepy Butler Cove, South Carolina. He hopes that this coastal town will be a haven from the tabloids in his crazy life, but he doesn't count on meeting a local Kerry. Kerry hasn't had the time for relationships, but Jack has her yearning for everything she's previously avoided, and Jack must decide whether this girl is worth changing his life for. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. I just think that sounds super exciting, and I love the cover as well. I think it's quite a striking cover. So that's Eversea, and then this is, I'm assuming, the sequel called Forever Jack, which probably kind of gives it a little bit away, but obviously you knew they were going to get together anyway. But I'm not going to read the blurb of that one because I don't want to know what happens. But yeah, thank you to Headline Eternal for sending me those ones. I cannot wait to read those. Then from the wonderful people at the Hotbed, I'm so in love with the people at the Hotbed. They send the most amazing books. They sent me some books for the Sex Me Up readathon, which is nearly here next week. This time next week it will be starting, and they sent me 4 books, which I'm super excited about. The first one they sent me is called Naked by Rain Miller. Now this is about a man who buys a photograph, which is this kind of photograph here, of a girl, and he kind of decided that he loves this girl and he wants to find out who she is, and he kind of takes over her and takes over her life, and it's really kind of possessive, exciting novel. It's actually quite short. I'm already on chapter 8, which is like halfway through, and I'm only on page 93, so it's a really, really short little book, but it's so good. And there are 2 more books in the series, because I think that this was written as some kind of short novellas-ish, and they've then been binded up into books, and I think this is like the first one, and then there's 2 more to come afterwards. But I'm really enjoying this one, actually. It's really, really good. The characters are very interesting. I'd say that the female lead is actually, I'm quite enjoying reading about her. She's not as annoying or as clingy or as easily submissive as some of the others, so I'm really enjoying it, actually. So cannot wait to finish that one and review it during the Sex Note Readathon week. The second book that I got sent is called The Professional by Kresley Cole, and this is about a man called Alexander who is ordered to protect a long lost daughter of his boss, but then I think he kind of falls in love with her and she falls in love with him, and it's kind of like, can I sleep with you, you're my boss's daughter, and all those crazy things. So I'm really looking forward to reading it, and I think that this is going to be, it is the first book in what is going to be a series called the Game Maker series. I'm not sure if the others have been written yet, but it says that it's going to be a series, so I'm looking forward to seeing where this one's going to go. So thank you to Hotbed, I can't wait to read that one too. The third book that they sent me is called Devoured by Emily Snow, and this is about a girl called Sienna who finds out that her grandmother's home has been foreclosed, and she has no other choice than to move back home, where she comes face to face with a man who she thought she'd never see again, who holds the deed to her grandmother's estate. So I think she meets somebody that she never thought she'd see again, and she has to get on with him because he holds the kind of keys to her grandma's estate and she needs it back, and I think they kind of probably fall in love during that and have a lot of sex. So I'm super excited to read that one, and I don't think this is part of a series. No, I think this is a standalone, which is good because I do love a good standalone. And then the final book that they sent me is called Just One Night by Kira Davis. I really quite like the cover for this one. I don't know if you can see the light shining on it, but this is about Casey, who knows she's supposed to be responsible, reliable and predictable. She's a workaholic who is devoted to the sensible man that she plans to marry, but one wild, impulsive night in Vegas is about to open her eyes. So it sounds like it's going to be a bit of a one-night stand thing going on, and she's going to meet somebody and her whole world is going to change. But this is an interesting one because this was 3 different novellas, but it's been serialised into one big bind-up. So this is actually 3 short story or 3 novellas in here. So, but it's been divided into parts. So it's like part 1, part 2, part 3. But originally, I think if it was online, this is the first time it's been printed. So if it was an ebook, it would have probably come in 3 ebooks. So I'm really looking forward to reading that one, actually. This is probably the one I'm most looking forward to reading. So thank you to Hotbed for sending me that. I'm super excited to read that one. And then the final thing, I went to the library this week and I picked up 2 books. The first book I picked up was a book that I reserved because I'd heard quite a lot about it and I just wanted to read it. And it's called The Dirty Girls Book Club by Savannah Fox. Now this is about a woman called Georgie who joined a book club to expand her literary horizons, but when they decide to swap serious classics for steamy fiction, she discovers just how much fun reading can be. Now this is going to be a little bit, I imagine, like The Naughty Girls Book Club by Sophie Hart, and I adored that book. That was about a woman who ran a coffee shop, or like a little kind of cake shop, coffee shop kind of thing, and her customers are not coming and she's not getting any customers, and she needs to kind of find something to encourage more people to come in, and then she sets up a book club, but then the book club turns into an erotic fiction book club and they all start reading all the classics, and really, really love that book, actually. So this one kind of sounds to be along a similar vein, so I'm really looking forward to reading that one, and I think the cover is really, really beautiful as well. So I don't know why people have kind of like an aversion to covers like this. I just think Body's beautiful, and I think that's just a stunning picture. So yeah. And then the final book I picked up from the library is called Brilliant by Roddy Doyle. Now this is a children's fiction book, but I love Roddy Doyle. When I was at school, I used to read a lot of his books, especially The Giggler Treatment, or The Gigglers. I can't quite remember the title of that, but I just adored that book, and it was such it's like evoked so many memories of my childhood. And I've always kind of been interested in reading Willie Doyle's work anyway, because he's such a fantastic author. But when I saw this knocking about online, I did kind of think, oh, that looks like it could be interesting. And the cover intrigued me because of the idea of the black dog. And I don't know if a lot of you are aware, but the black dog is kind of another word for depression. And I thought, oh, this could be a really interesting book. And I am always interested in reading books about mental health and depression and all those kinds of things. So I read the blurb, and this is about two children called Gloria and Razor, who must save their Uncle Ben. The black dog has got him. That's what they had their granny say anyway. And she says it's taken Dublin's funny bone too. Gloria and Razor are really brave, but the black dog is scary and they can't fight it alone. Soon Dublin's children are helping, and then the animals in Dublin Zoo, and some cheeky seagulls as well. But could the biggest help of all be an ordinary word shouted as loudly as possible by all the kids together? So this is going to be a really interesting take on the idea of depression seen through children's eyes. I've already started reading it. I'm not too far through. I think I'm on chapter 4, I think. But it's an interesting take on depression and adult problems from a child's perspective, which is always really interesting, because when you think about, you know, parents having depression, adults having depression, you don't think about the impact it has on children and the way that children interpret it and see it. So I'm going to be really interested to read this and see what comes of it. And it's really short as well, and it's actually illustrated as well, which I wasn't expecting. But there's some really, I mean, the illustrations aren't very particularly pretty. I wouldn't say that I enjoy the illustrations, but I mean, there are some illustrations in there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see? Like there. So yeah, so that's that one, and I can't wait to read that one. A review will be up for this one by the end of the week. So I think that is everything that I had to show you this week. I also wanted to quickly mention that the local, well, not local libraries, I think it's nationwide libraries are starting at their Mythical Maze. Is it mythical or mystical? I think it's Mythical Maze reading challenge for children this summer. The idea is that a child goes into the library, you can register, and they have to read 6 books over the summer, and each time they finish a book they get lots of stickers and exciting things, and by the end of the summer, if they've completed their 6 books, and they get a special prize, which I think is a medal and a certificate to say, well done, you've read 6 books. But it's such a fantastic way to get children involved in reading and motivated and encouraged to read. I remember doing it when I was tiny. I remember going to the library, I did about 3 or 4, and I just really, really loved doing them, because there was the excitement of choosing out the book that you were going to read, then reading it, then having to write a tiny little review and kind of what you thought about the book. And it's just such a fantastic way to get kids involved in the process of reading, because a lot of the time kids just see a book and it's read to them, whereas if they get the chance to actually choose their own book, then they get to read the book, then they have to write how they feel about the book. It's a fantastic kind of learning process, and it's really exciting for them as well. So definitely go and check that out if you've got little children, or you know somebody that's got little children. Let them know about it, because it's such a fantastic thing to get involved in, and it's free as well. That's the most important thing, is that libraries are free and all of the things that they run are free too, so make sure you go and check that out, because it's such a fantastic opportunity and it's going to be super fun. So I think that is everything. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you again soon. Bye guys.